write you letters, but I wanted to be more clever. I wanted to get down and sweet talk you, hey baby. But just like a baby, I could not solve. And I tried to come closer, but could not walk. And I think of it every night, how I just could not get it right. Oh, if we ever come close again, I know what I'll say then. Can we talk, baby, can we talk for a minute? I wanna know your name. Can we talk? Can we talk for a minute, baby? I want to know your name. Oh, girl, one more chance with you again. I will not let it go. Oh, please give me just a one more chance for love. Can we talk? Yeah, baby. I want to know your name. I wanna know. Can we talk? Can we talk for a minute, baby? I want to know your name. Baby, come on and talk to me, baby. Come on and talk to me, baby. I wanna know your name. I wanna know your name. Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yeah. I said, can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me, baby. See, I wanna know. You better tell me your name, baby. I said, talk to me for a minute. Come on and talk for a minute. I wanna know. I wanna know your name. Talk to me for a minute. Come on and talk for a minute. Come on.
Hey, how we doing? We live. We are live, man. Listen, man. I need y'all to understand. Like, I am so honored. I'm so blessed, man. You are now tuned in to Clothes in a Dream radio show where dreams do come true. You just gotta believe that they do, man. Let's go. Hey, so here we are, man. We here. First and foremost, I just would like to thank everybody who's tuning in, who's gonna tune in and everything, man, and just continue to understand that this has been a journey for me. And I just thank God for every opportunity that I get to go on this journey, man. And I thank every single person that's gonna be going on this journey with me. It's gonna be a real journey. It's gonna be a journey about people who believed and dreamed and decided to really believe on everything that the Creator placed inside of them, and they was able to go and get it and come back with it and show the world it doesn't matter. Good morning. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you've been through. The only thing that matters is what do you believe. So welcome to the Clothes in a Dream radio show. This is almost unreal for me, man. Like, say, you got to understand where I come from. So that's one of the first things we're going to be talking about today, where I actually come from, what I've been through, and what brings us to this very moment of Clothes in a Dream. So my name is Doc Amy. I'm 43 years old, right? I'm from Texas City, Texas. My biological father was murdered when I was 6 months old. My mom was on drugs when I was at a very early age. So me and my brother, we moved with my grandmother. By the age of 11, I became a product of my environment. By the age of 13, I had already dropped out of school and decided that I was just going to rap and sell dope for the rest of my life. And so by the age of 17, I actually had 2 girls pregnant at the same time. By the age of 21, I was on my first trip to prison, man. Like, and so me going to prison for the first time, I'm not going to even lie, like that was almost like a badge of honor for a lot of people. We felt like that was a badge of honor that, you know, we go to jail, we pay our dues and stuff like that. And then I got out and I went right back. Like it wasn't nothing. I went right back. And then I got out and then I went right back again. I ended up catching a pistol case in 2006. And so I can remember in 2008, February, I had actually was found guilty on a gun charge and I was sentenced to 5 years in TDC. And I went down there and they sent me to, so the first couple times that I went, you know, I learned a few things. You get in trouble when you go to jail. You don't go to jail to get in trouble. So I kind of understood that me getting in trouble and going to jail and doing the things that I was doing, I understood that once I got there, then I needed to, you know, do what I was told to do when I was told to do it and things like that, because I wasn't trying to get in any more trouble after I was already there, right? And so I learned that. And so the last time I was there, I was on East Ham Unit in Lovelady, Texas, right? And I was actually working, cleaning up hog mess as a job, right? And I can remember getting my parole denied in December, cold December morning. I remember getting my parole denied and then going back out to work the next day to the hog barn. And I went in that hog barn, man. I suited up, put all my stuff on, and I can just remember going in the corner and crying and just saying, like, God, if you real, like everybody say you real, then you'll get me out of this. Like if you get me out of this, I'm done. I'm finished. I'm done with the streets. I'm done with everything. Like I'm gonna turn my life over and live it for you. And so that was the plan. I ended up making parole less than a year later. I got out of prison and I came home November the 23rd, 2009, the Monday before the Monday before Thanksgiving. And I can remember just, you know, wanting to get out and do the right thing. And I was doing that for a good little while. And then in 2011, my uncle passed away, my cousin's brother, and my cousin reached out to me like, hey, man, listen, my daddy didn't have no insurance. I'm fixing to come down there from Cali. Listen, I got a few things I need you to put in some people's hand. I know you're not really doing that no more. You're not in the game, but I need a little help. And you know me, I said, okay, that's cool. So I'm helping him, but I'm giving everybody my number, right? I'm giving everybody my number. So push come to shove, we like a week later in, and he like, hey, listen, man, I'm fixing to get ready to go out of town. And so if, you know, I got a few things left, if you want to hold it down, you can. And so, boom, that kind of happened. Next thing you know, I'm on a train on my way to Cali. I'm on my way back, crossing all these state lines. And then the Lord just kind of showed me, like, do you realize how the enemy can easily get you entrapped in something? And all it takes is for one slip up, and every state line that you cross with those drugs would have been a federal case. And it was in that moment that I had to make up my mind and decide that, like, you know what? This is crazy, because I remember, right? And I remember at my house one day, cleaning something out my garage. Out my closet, and I'm going through I'm looking for something, and a box fall out of my closet. And when the box fell, it was everything from prison. It was my letters, my old commissary slips, my pictures. And it was in that moment that I just felt like God said, hey, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I thought you told me I didn't have to worry about you. What are you doing? And it was in that moment I was like, yeah, I gotta stop. I gotta back up. God gave me his word, and now I gotta stick to mine. And it was in that moment that I feel like the real switch, because, you know, I got out with the greatest intentions on doing the right thing, and I was doing the right thing. And then, you know, I kind of got complacent, got comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And before you know it, I was right back in the game, knee deep. I was smoking, sipping, drink, popping pills. I was doing everything I told God I was not going to be doing. But I kind of got a little lax, relaxed, and, you know, and when that happened, you know, I got deeper into the church. I ended up going taking the Bible college course, graduating Bible college with perfect attendance, and you know, I was doing good. And in 2018, I ended up getting married. I met a beautiful woman, man, and I got married. We met each other. We kind of knew each other, but didn't really know each other. We met in September 2017, and then we got married. We got engaged in January, and we was married by April, and things kind of moved a little faster than, you know, a lot of people feel like they should have, and things like that. But, you know, I felt like I was following purpose, and because, you know, the way that we lined up when we met, I just knew it would be the perfect thing. And as you know, as the years go by, a few things happen, situations happen, and we got to a point to where we weren't growing together anymore. And if something's not growing and thriving, then it's dying. And so I can remember October the 3rd, 2022. I can remember getting it. We lived in Lagomar subdivision in Texas City. And I can remember getting in the shower. And I'm taking my shower, and I just heard "Clothes in a Dream." And I was like, what's that? And I just heard the Lord tell me, hey, you're going to leave with the clothes on your back and the dream in your heart that one day you will be one of the top motivational speakers in the world. And I felt something I had never felt. And I knew that I had heard from the Lord, and I had to make a hard decision, because for so long, I knew what I needed to do in my life to help myself grow. And I lived under fear of criticism, what's called fear of criticism. You got to understand, I'm a ordained minister at this time. I'm enjoying life. I'm talking to other people about their marriage and this and that, and young couples, and here mine is in shambles, right? And so I lived under what's called fear of criticism, what other people might think, what other people might say, and this and that. And then, so what a lot of people don't know is I started getting sick. Like, I can remember, you know, using the bathroom and seeing blood and throwing up blood. And when I went to go see my doctor, they told me, hey, your stress is through the roof. And so I don't know what you got going on, but stress kills faster than a speeding bullet. And I can just remember thinking about, you know, how far I've came, man, and how if I was to die today or tomorrow in 6 months to a year, you'll be a memory to most people, man. And so the same people that you're feeling like, you know, fear of criticism, you're going to be a memory to them people 6 months to a year. They're not going to be calling your mom and your kids and all that, checking on you. And so I had to make an executive decision for my life. And that executive decision was really following Clothes in a Dream. You know, because I could have said, hey, you know, I want to put up a fight, let's sell the house and all of that. And God said, no, you know, we're not going to do all that. We're going to just go easily and quietly where nothing's being, you know, divorce is already hard, but we're not going to, you know, make things more complicated and got to go through lawyers for this and the court and decide. Man, listen, it's okay. Clothes in a Dream. Because I know I felt something in my heart that was burning that told me, hey, this is what you need to do. So here we are, Clothes in a Dream, man. And so we're going to be using this show to actually just reach back to the people that everybody felt like, you know, they're not real. They can't do this. They can't do that. But when you know that you know that you know, you have to believe that feeling that you feel inside of you that's telling you that God is real. God wants to do great things in your life. He wants to move you. He wants to do this. He wants to do that. And until you can believe it, it will only be a dream. And I know that God is going to use me for a time such as this. And the way things have been lining up in my life and the way things have been just shaping up and meeting and connecting and doing this and then doing that, I know that Clothes in a Dream is real. And so my Uncle Carter, we've been Facebook friends forever, right? And so these last couple of weeks, months or whatever, he actually told me, he said, nephew, I've been watching you. I see what you've been doing. I had no idea him and my Aunt Val had a whole radio show and the whole shebang. And I knew none of this, you know? And so when he reached out to me one morning, he said, hey, man, I need to get you on the show. First of all, I'm flabbergasted. What show? And so that's when he sent me some little stuff, said, hey, check this out, check that out, man. And I went to checking it out. And he said, you know what? Matter of fact, come on the show. And whenever I came on the show, man, you know how you can just go somewhere and the atmosphere, the atmosphere, the vibe and everything, you just feel so comfortable, you just feel welcome and you feel at home. Like instantly, soon as the staff and everybody's working in tandem and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, so I'm going through the show. And unbeknownst to everybody else, while we're going through the show, God is actually giving me a visual because I believe in one thing, right? I believe one thing to be true. God is no respect of a person, right? He's no respect of a person. And what God would do for anybody else that you see, anybody else doing anything else that they're doing that you feel like is great, he can do it for you, right? And so as I'm sitting back and I'm watching everything on the show, man, I'm listening, we having fun, we laughing, we gee. And God actually showed me doing it myself. And so when I asked my auntie, I say, Auntie, man, I sure wouldn't mind having me a show. She say, we can make that happen. And I'm like, I already got the name for it and everything. Like, I already know what I want to do. Like, and it just showed me that when you make up your mind and you decide to actually believe that you can do something, your mind is going to start giving you every scenario and every reason and every solution to every problem to why it can happen, right? But if you actually don't believe something that can, if you don't believe something can happen in your mind, it'll never happen in the real world, because everything have to happen in the spiritual before it happened in the natural. And that all boils down to your belief, right? And so I've been seeing myself in front of I've even had prophesied over me that I'll be in front of cameras. I knew that God was going to do some amazing stuff in my life, but at some point, I now can look back and realize, you know what? I was really getting impatient, not realizing that it's the journey, right? It is the journey that every man and every woman are going to ever go through that is going to continually shape and mold them and guide them into who the Creator needs them to be on this earth. And so once I start understanding that, the first thing that I had to do is I had to figure out who I was, right? I had to learn about me. What makes me go? What makes me stop? What makes me happy? What makes me sad? And what do I truly want to do in this earth? What do I want to be known for making a difference? What do I know that I'm good at, that I feel like the Creator has specifically, intentionally blessed me with a gift and a talent? What is that? And so when I start doing that self-discovery on myself, man, so many things start unlocking for me. And it's like, whoa, okay. And then that's when I realized I have a gift of speaking. I have a gift of motivating. I have a gift of encouraging, and I have a love so strong for God's people that He gives me everything that I need to be able to relate to almost anybody. And that's a special talent. And when I realized that, I said, you know what? That's it. That's it. Everything else is on the back burner for right now. Everything else, because I done jumped into so many things, trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to do this, trying to do that. And I realized most of those things that I was trying to do, I was really chasing a bag. I was figuring out ways for myself to be able to get where I needed to go, right? But when you start understanding, it's not, hold on. I gotta answer this comment right now. God is the way. I gave my life to God 2 Sundays ago. I'm not where I want to be, but He got me where I need to be right now. Miss May Williams, let me help you with something, right? You made one of the best decisions in your life, but do you realize you have just made yourself a mark? Because the enemy, he doesn't like that. He's going to come, he's going to attack you. He's going to show you every reason why you giving your life to God 2 Sundays ago was the worst decision you could have ever did. But I'm here to tell you, right? He's so smart and conniving, but he's also dumb, that the Bible says all things work together for good for those who love God, that are called according to His purpose. So now I need you to just sit back and intentionally Pay attention to what's going on in your life, and the enemy will start exposing all your weaknesses where you need to strengthen them up at. And as you strengthen those weaknesses that he show, you're going to continually get strong. But listen, when you're going through something hard and stuff is hitting you, don't quit. Don't think about quitting, because your mind is so powerful that no matter what you go through, whenever you make up your mind that you're going to go through it so you can get to it, is nothing that can stop you. But the second you start doubting and figuring out how you're going to do it and you don't think you, guess what? Your mind going to give you every reason on why you can't do it. So stay strong in this walk with God, man. Stay strong in this walk with God, man. I don't even know where I was at, but I jumped off on a tandem. But I just need you guys to know that with this show, we're going to be showing people how to dream again, how to believe again, because I want you to walk this journey with me so you can see, because a lot of people know where I come from. They know where I come from, and they know I come from nothing, right? But it's going to be a show of God's power, of how he can use anybody. He's not looking for your qualifications. He's looking for your availability. And he's going to show that he can take the weakest of this world and confound the wise. And he can take the weakest to confound the strongest, and the dumbest to confound the wise. And you got to believe that, right? And so as we're going on this journey and we're believing, things are going to come up in your path that makes you want to stop and makes you want to quit. But what I need you to understand and know, that's just another experience that if you've never been through it, that's just another experience for the Creator to help you learn different things about life, because every experience that you go through is just like a training ground for you, right? You go to boot camp. This is like a life boot camp. Everything that you go through that you've never been through is like a life boot camp that you're going through, so you can continually learn the different experiences that you need in life to make. Because just think about it. Think about it. How many experiences have you been through in life, right? That you've been through twice, that the first time you went through it was hard, but then the second time when you went through it, it's almost like you did it effortlessly, because you learn from your mistakes. You learn from your experiences. Experience is the best teacher, right? So closing the dream is just going to be about living, dreaming, understanding who you are, and believing in everything the Creator has placed inside of you to be great and to do great things in the earth, man. So listen, the way we're going to do it is the first hour is going to be like an hour of motivating. When you come in, 11 o'clock, I need you coming in with praise reports and things like that. I'm going to teach y'all how to build mantras. Shout out to my CAG brothers. I'm going to teach y'all how to build mantras, right? A mantra is something that you want to do. You may not be doing it, but you want to do it sometimes in the future, or however you want your life to be, right? And you say these things over your life, because speak those things that are not as though they were, and they too shall come to pass. And so if anybody want to know, this is a mantra. This is my mantra, right? And as you listen to it and you think about it, you'll be able to hear some of the stuff that I've went through, some of the stuff that I'm going through, and then where I want to be at in life, right? So my mantra is, I'm alive and free. I'm happy and I'm healthy. I'm the head and not the tail. I'm the lender and not the borrower. I walk in integrity and good character. I'm the thermostat and not the thermometer. The only way that I will lose is if I quit. I will always keep my faith in God, and I will always remain undeniable. And you got to believe that about yourself. You got to speak your mantra over yourself, because I find myself in times when things are getting hard and I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. And I just say my mantra about 5 or 10 times, and it'll remind me who I was, where I come from, what I'm doing right now, and where do I want to go in life. And you got to know that, man. Your words are so powerful. They actually shape your thoughts, and your thoughts actually shape your realities in life. Just think about it, man. Everything that you've actually ever really just gave a lot of time thinking about and praying about, if you really think about it, a lot of those things that's right now in materialistic in your world, those are things that you thought about and you prayed about before back there. And that's with anything, man. And what I'm learning is God can only do as much as you believe he can do for you. You hear me? And when you start to believe and raise your belief system and believe that God can do all things, right? He can do all things. And once you believe it, it's not a lot that can stop you from going to where you feel like the Creator is taking you, man. And so we're going to come in, we're going to have some fun, we're going to talk. I want, questions. Tell me, how was your day? Give me some gratitude, attitude of gratitude, something that you're grateful for, something that you're working on, things like that. And then the second hour is going to be me reaching out to different people that I know that come from where I come from, or different people that I meet along the journey that has their own closing a dream story. Because if you think about it, everybody has a closing a dream story. It might not be like a literal closing a dream, but it's a closing a dream story. Because I know at some point, it was some point in your life where you had to make up your mind and decide that, you know what, I'm fixing to go with what I got, no matter what. And when you make up your mind to decide to go, there's not a lot that can stop you. And so I'm so thankful, because I know that this leg of the journey is going to take me, a pretty nice chunk of what God is doing. And as far as like helping me get my story out, helping me get people to understand that you can do anything you put your mind to, dreaming. We're going to have different questions. We're just going to have a very, very good time that, you feel like, hey, can I ask you a question? And like right now, you can ask some questions in the comments. You got some questions, ask me a question, and I'm gonna answer it for you. And I'm gonna give you the best knowledge that I can give you on it. You know what I'm saying? And you just, hey, listen, man, you gotta know who you are. And I am so thankful for this opportunity that I was blessed to be able to have. And so we're gonna get ready to take a restroom break, and we're gonna come right back. And just think about some things that you might want to ask me. If you want to say anything, just tell me hello, thank you, congratulate me, and just, hey, because you're going on this journey with me, okay? So we'll be right back.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A son's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the window, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clever. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Na 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 na. I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize there's someone more. Not a nickel to love. Could it be pretending that they're not alone? Oh, well, all deep is God, somebody's broken heart, and a washed out dream. They follow the pattern of the wind to sea, 'cause they got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message It's gonna feel real good. Some more change. Just live yourself. You know, you got to stop it yourself. Yeah. Make that change today. You got to not break yourself. Yeah. You know, make that change. That thing. You got to move some more. You got to stand up, stand up and live yourself. Make that change some more.
Hey, we back and we live, man. So here we are. That's it right there. Make the change, man. That has been like, I love Michael Jackson, and that song never really hit me like it hit me here years back, after really just seeing that at the end of the day, it's the man in the mirror that you want to change. You got to be able to willing to want to change you before you can try to change anything or anybody around you. That's why I started the Be the Change You Want to See campaign that I started back in 2015, 2016. Be the change you want to see. You don't got to go and try to do all this. You just start living your life in a certain way that you know that you can be a role model or an influence and a motivation to other people. Right. And so that's how I started to Be the Change, man. So listen, today we only going to go for like an hour, because I just wanted to come in and just introduce myself, introduce Closing a Dream and what we're going to be doing. Because I'm going to be interviewing people on my second hour from 12 to 1. I'm going to be interviewing people just about their closing a dream story and where they come from and what they did. And you never know who you might hear that may be the very person that you need to hear that helps you get to the next level in where you're trying to go. Right. And you got to know that. And at the end of the day, like I always say, and I just pray that somebody is able to get this. You can only do as much as you believe God can do for you. You can only do as much as you believe God can do for you. And I believe God is raising up that spirit of belief and just that spirit of dreaming again and just doing the things that he has calling us to do on the earth so we can just be in everything we need to be in this ecosystem that he created. And I know it's going to be a beautiful thing. Closing a Dream, man. I love it. Hey, listen. If you know me, right, and you know where I come from, man, I just need you to put a 1 in a comment real quick, man. Let me see who I got here with me, riding with me on my very first show, man. Let me see who I got with you. Hey, what's up, Preston, man? How you doing? Hey, thank you, bro. I love you so much, man. Who else we got with me, man? Ms. May Williams, thank you. I appreciate you as well. Leah, hey, Leah, thank you.
And then Ms. Carter has a question.
Okay, Ms. Carter. Why do people that have went to jail and got out, then they return back? That's a great question. So a lot of times, especially people who come from where I come from, it's easy to, once you get out and you're trying to fix your life and you're trying to do something better, it's really harder to get back on that right track because you have so many red tapes and roadblocks that you have to go through because you have this stigma on you. You're a felon. You're a convicted felon. So when you're filling out an application and you're trying to do this, because at the end of the day, we all have to survive. We all got to survive. So if we're not able to survive in the way that they're giving us an opportunity, we're going to go back to what we know. And sometimes what we know is not the right way, and it get us back in positions, and we go back in that mindset. We out here survival. We're in survival mode. And so a lot of times we fall back and we go back to jail because we just out there surviving, trying to make it happen for ourselves. Anybody else?
Yeah, Carla Gray Johnson.
Hey, Carla. Yeah, I know Carla. She from my hometown, man. What's up, fam? How y'all doing, man? Hey, listen, I appreciate every one of y'all that's riding and going along this journey with me. This is a journey, right? And that's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand, that everything that you go through in your life is a journey, right? And when you learn to go through the journey and start to take the gems and the nuggets and the disappointments and the hurts, and you start to mesh them all together, and you realize it started turning you into this amazing person that God had already created. You were formed in your mother's womb. You know what I'm saying? Way before time. So he already knew the person that he was going to create you to be, to go out in the world to make a difference to people. He just needs you to know. And a lot of times we don't really do the figuring out. And a lot of times some people do. And so I truly believe that when the Bible say he will take the foolish things of this world to confound the wise, I truly believe that he's going to take my life and use my life to show people it don't matter where you come from. It don't matter what you've been through. It don't matter the color of your skin, and it doesn't matter the community you grew up or your last name. At some point, at some age, you have to make a cognizant decision in your mind that you want to do something better. You want to do something great. And when you do that, it's not going to be a whole lot that can stop you. And he's going to continually guide you and lead you in the way that you go. He's going to strengthen you. He's going to show you things that you could have never imagined, having in your life. And he's going to do all those things for you. And you got to know that. You got to know that, because once you know that, then you'll start intentionally looking for it to happen. Oh, that was good. When you know it, then you will start intentionally looking for it to happen. And what happens when you intentionally look for stuff? You find it. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open. You hear me? We fixing to dream again. We fixing to have some fun. We fixing to enjoy life. We fixing to show the world it don't matter where you come from, man. I done been to the penitentiary 3 times. I done been to the penitentiary 3 times, right? But at the end of the day, you have to make up your mind and decide that, hey, listen, I know I can blame it and I can make excuses because guess what? Yeah, my biological dad died when I was 6 months. Oh, I didn't have a father figure, so I was raised by the streets. Oh, boo-hoo. You know how many but I used that as an excuse for a long time. Oh, man, my mama was on drugs when I used that as an excuse for a long time. But then it got to a point where I was making decisions on my own, doing things that I know wasn't right, that I wouldn't have did if my mama or my grandma was around. And those were decisions that I made on my own. Whether if my daddy died or my mama, none of that mattered. I made those decisions. And when I realized that the choices you make today going to have a direct influence on your life tomorrow, and then God started showing me all the decisions that I made that I could have stopped from doing and didn't make, and I wouldn't have been in some of the situations that I was in if I wouldn't have made those choices. And so I had to take responsibility. I had to bite the bullet, and I had to say, you know what? You're here because of some of the things that you did. Now, if you want to get out of here, it's going to be because of some of the things that you did. And the first thing that I did was just trusted God. I gave my life to God, and I said, God, I can't do this. I can't do this by myself. It's hard. Right now, I know it's hard for a lot of people out there right now. It's hard for a lot. Nobody is exempt. Nobody is exempt from what's going on in this earth, man. But you got to understand that God has equipped you with something intentionally and strategically placed inside of you for a special time as this right now, right? For right now, for your age and the time that you at, because guess what? He got some kids out there that's 6, 7, 8 years old. They don't even know what they got. But when they get to the mature age, they're going to be able to find what they got. They're going to be able to pull it out, and they're going to be able to help the needs that are needed in that time frame. Right now is our time. God has given us everything we need to help the people around us, help us grow as people for a time such as this. And I just feel like everything that I've been through, right? I take away a lot of people's excuses. And I still determined not to quit. I still determined that I'm going to go get it, and I'm going to come back with it at all costs.
You have a couple questions, too, if you're ready to answer those.
Yes, ma'am.
We have one from Carla Garley Johnson on Facebook. She says, what do you do when you can't find a space, place, and time to cry it out?
Listen, When you stop caring about what anybody think about you, you're gonna let it out wherever you at. You can be in the gas station line, you can be in traffic, you can be, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna tell you when I do mine, when I be in the shower. When I be in the shower, that's when I have my most intimate times with God. It's like God say, you know what? I'm finna get you while you all the way naked, literally. And that's when I have my, man, I'm telling you, that's why I come up with a lot of my messages. That's why I come up with a lot of the stuff that God is showing me and telling me. So listen, it doesn't matter where it's at. You just got to know that he hear you wherever you at and just cry out to him. He hear you.
And then, in reference to what you were talking about with the last question, Joe Collins says accountability is always the first step. That dude in the mirror is the biggest hurdle.
Joe, hey, listen. So for some of y'all that don't know, Joe Collins is the police. He done chased me down a couple times, so he already know. Joe, I love you, man, and I appreciate you, homeboy, for real. Joe is one of the good guys, man. I can honestly say all the mess that I done been through and I put them people through, man. Joe was one of the good guys that always treated me like a human being, no matter where I was at, no matter what hey, for real. Joe, I appreciate you, homeboy. You kept it 100 with me, man, and I love you for that, man.
And then we have a question from May Williams. May Williams says, "How do you just focus on one thing you are good at?"
So the way that you focus on one thing that you're good at is first finding out what you're good at. Once you figure out what your thing is, you got to just abandon everything else and just start giving everything that you have, that you feel like you have, to that one thing, right? And when you start giving everything to that one thing, God is going to start opening up more doors of opportunity to show you how to use that thing, right? And then he's going to start putting you in positions to where people are going to start using that thing as a service. Do you realize money is only a service? So whatever you're good at, whatever God equipped you with, he's giving you that so you can live an abundant life and you can take care of yourself on this earth. So you got to know that. So once you start focusing on that one thing that you're good at, and you really feel like I'm going to abandon everything else, God is going to start opening up the doors and showing you how to use it, showing you where to use it at. You feel me? And so you just got to make up your mind. What is it, that one thing that I want to do that I feel like I can make a difference in this earth to do? And when you figure that part out, just go for it. Even if you got to go by yourself, go, because you'll never be by yourself. Because long as it's you and God, you will always be in the majority. Yeah.
That's pretty much it for comments, right?
Okay. So yeah, like, listen, man, at the end of the day, like, you got to understand, like, and I tell people this all the time, you got to understand who you are, right? God has given you, he's given you a brain and a mind, and a lot of people don't understand. You have one brain and two minds. You have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind, right? Your subconscious mind doesn't know right from wrong, true or false. It only believes what your conscious mind tells it. But your conscious mind is also connected to your spirit, that is the mediator between the spirit of God, right? The religious and the church people call it the Holy Spirit. The non-religious and the non-church people call it the subconscious mind. But they are one and two in the same. And so when you understand who you are a spirit that has a soul that lives in a body that gives you legal operation right to be on this earth, right? And so when you understand that, and you understand that you are a spirit and God speaks to you through your spirit, and when you start to understand how he speaks to you uniquely, and it's going to open up so many, you're going to, oh man, he told me, he been talking. You just got to know what he's saying and how he's saying it to you, and it's going to be a way that he can guide and lead you every which way that you need to go so you can get whatever you need to get done on this earth, man. You got to believe that. You got to know that, right? And I am going to be one of the people that is going to show people it doesn't matter, man. You just got to believe it, right? And when you go through the journey and you understand it's the journey that's actually making you, molding you, shaping you so you can be who you need to be for when you get to where you're going. And a lot of the stuff that we go through on this journey is really not for us. It's to help other people that we're going to meet along the way. Because if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, you're going to have to go, with people. So for the last couple minutes, man, I want to send a shout out to my CAG brothers, man. All my CAG brothers, man, that I get to meet up with every Sunday from 9:30 to 11 on Zoom, man. I truly want to give them brothers, all of those brothers, and special shout out to CB, Carl Phillips, Ron Jeezy, Terrell, John Brown, and Clifton. Those are my power 5, man. These are guys that I reach out to every day, every morning, and I tell them, hey, this is my plan for the day. You feel me? And these are guys that are fully equipped. One guy say he loves just the way that he thinks. And so I reach out to these guys every morning. I say, hey, this is the plan for the day. And, some of them say, hey, well, why don't you try this? Why don't you think about this? And then in the evening, I reach back out and say, hey, this is my biggest win for the day. This is where I might need some help at and stuff like that. But I truly want to send a shout out to them brothers, man, because I was able to get into this men's group when I was at a very low point in my life. It was right in October of last year. You feel me? A little bit before October last year, probably like in May. April or May of last year, I was able to get with these brothers, man, and it's been nothing but a blessing. So I'm telling you, if you want to go far, you can't go by yourself. You need people around you that want to help you grow, gonna help you do what they need to do to help you grow, show you opportunities for you to grow. And then when you start growing, they just want to help you grow more. They don't try to hold you down and, man, you think he all that. And hey, listen, man, it's enough out here for everybody. And once you find your lane, you found your lane. And then other people are going to find their lane, and you just got to know that, and you got to understand that, right? So today has been a real blessing for me because a lot of people might not see it right now. They might not understand what's going on, man, but it's just more in line of what God has already showed me. And I don't take any of this lightly because he could have used anybody to do what he has me doing right now. He could have used anybody. He actually used a donkey to speak in the middle of the wilderness. So I know that he could have used anybody to use me to do what he has me doing. And I don't take that lightly. And I just thank God for every one of y'all. I thank God for every one of y'all coming in, riding with me. Even the ones that be on my Facebook lives at 7 a.m, morning motivation. Like, I appreciate every one of y'all. Because guess what? Without y'all and me motivating y'all and encouraging y'all and speaking into your life, then what good am I doing, right? But being that I know I'm able to touch people, I'm able to relate to people, I'm able to show people direction, I'm able to give people what I've been through, right? I'm able to help people to show people where I've been. Because if you know, listen, if you know where I've been, then you understand that, listen, God is no respect of a person. If he can do it for anybody else, if he can do it for them, if he can do it for them, he can do it for you. You got to believe that he can do it for you, man. You got to believe that he can do it for you, right? Hey, listen, so I just see my brother just tapped on Instagram, man. So, man, if any of y'all know our story, man, I just want to tell my brother, man, I'm out here, man, closing the dream. I love you, bro. I love you, big bro. Like, no doubt, man. All right? We going up. We going up. So listen, man, today is going to be a beautiful day. Like I tell people at the end of the day, your day starts by the first start that you have. And if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're absolutely right. You just got to believe it. And that's all I want to do with closing the dream, man. I just want to show people that you can do anything in the world with just the clothes on your back and the dream in your heart, man. You just got to know it. You got to desire it. And you got to believe that God can do all things. The only thing that he cannot do is fail. And he's not going to start with you, right? When you know that, listen, God is not a God of failing, and he not finna start with me. I'm not that handsome for God to just start failing because it's my turn, right? But sometimes our belief system is just not big enough. It's not high enough for God to really do what he really want to do in our lives because we done put him in a box and we don't really believe that he can do it. We believe he can do it for somebody else, but not us. I'm finna break. Hey, listen, I'm finna break that thought in half in people's face. I'm finna show you it don't matter where you come from, man. You got to believe it. You got people behind you that's watching you. Especially if you around my age, 40, 41, 42, 43, around there, we the last of a dying breed. We the last of a dying breed, and if we don't do it, who gonna do it? Right? And we got to know that. And so then we just got to start putting ourselves in position so we can start making a difference in our world, in our community, in our cities, in our states. But the biggest change start with you. The biggest change started with me. And I truly believe you can do anything you put your mind to. You just got to believe it, right? And so as we going through this journey of closing a dream, I need you to just rock with me. Hey, I need you to know, man, it's going down. You hear me? And one thing about me, I'll never change, man. I'll never switch up. I love people. People know I love people. That's why people love me, because they know I'm gonna be the same all the time. Because see, what people seeing now, I've always felt it in my heart. I always knew I was different. I always knew I was different, man. I always knew little stuff that people kind of like thought I was tripping. And I just realized they didn't have it. They didn't have it. And that's okay. Right? But man, y'all don't like, I know I don't really, here lately, I have been showing emotions a lot, right? Where I just be thinking about something and I start crying because I'm so grateful, man. I just thank God for everything that he's done for me, everything that I've been through that I know was only a testing ground for where he had me going, right? And so moving forward, man, I need y'all to know that if you're going to go on this journey with me, I need you to take off all limitations. I need you to take off all doubts. Anything that anybody ever told you that you could not do, I need you to take it off right now. Take it outside, go throw it in the trash can and wait on the people to come pick it up. Don't ever go get it no more. I'm fixing to show you that you can do anything you put your mind to. You just got to believe it, right? And so, man, we're going to end this show a little early today. This is the first one. We will be back next Tuesday. Fired up, bright-eyed, bushy tail, ready to go. Ready to go. We're going to have people that I'm going to be interviewing, all kind of nice stuff, man. We're going to have different stuff that we doing, motivating, encouraging. You got questions, whatever we got going on, man, I just want you to be a part of it, right? So just remember, you can go anywhere in the world and do anything you want with just the clothes on your back and the dream in your heart. So I'm going to pray for y'all real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. Lord, thank you for every man and woman that you've brought here with me. I just pray that you continue to watch over them and guide them and lead them in the way that you may have them go. Continue to strengthen them, God. We know that you can do all things. The only thing that you cannot do is fail. We're saying thank you for all that you have done, all that you're going to do, God. And I just say thank you and that I love you, because we know, God, that you are going to make the impossible possible for those that believe, right? And in the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. 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 Hey, could you put up there real quick how they can get on the app, the Love and Victory app, please?
Yeah, so you guys can download the LV with Val app. I'll put it up on the screen right now. If you just search LV with Val in the App Store, it'll pop right up. You can also visit lvwithval.com to listen to our radio station live. We have music playing 24/7. We have a bunch of different radio shows, and we have more coming. So yeah, be sure to check out LV with Val Radio.
Thank you, Abby. I appreciate you so much for everything that you do here. Here we are, man. Closing the dream. We in this thing. We ain't going nowhere, man. So listen, I love y'all. And remember, you can go anywhere in the world and do anything you want to do with just the clothes on your back and a dream in your heart. Closing the dream. I love y'all, man.